Hello everyone and welcome to the challenge mode gold guide for the Iron Docks. I am Babyjace, the Blood Death Knight in this group, and I'm going to help you try and get a gold medal in this dungeon. To start off, this is a fairly easy challenge mode to get done, so once you get a feel for the pulls, you should have no problem with getting gold. For these first pull, you're going to want to take the pack on the left and the right and the Battle Master and just group them together and AoE them down. It's a pretty decent amount of damage on your tank, so use cooldown if you need to. You want to make sure you're AoEing, but that you're also putting a lot of your damage into the Battle Master as he does Blade Storm, and it does a lot of damage. Getting a Blade Storm or two is okay, but you definitely want to kill him as soon as you can, so that you're not wasting too much time and someone maybe will die. Once that pack is mostly dead or dead, depending on your healer's mana, you can go ahead and pull the next pack with Champion Draenor. Champion Draenor will summon burning arrows from the sky. You just need to not stand in that. It does do a lot of damage, but again, you just need to not stand in that. Here in the video, I pulled Siege Master Oligar when he was by himself and not near the other mobs. We wanted to make up some time and we needed to kill him anyways, so we felt like we would just pull him with this pack. Be aware though, if you are melee, he does a melee cleave. It's like a cleave around him, so our Windwalker Monk was getting hit actually from behind the boss. So it is a lot of damage, so if you're a healer, you might want to watch out for that. Though, you see that, make sure you don't pull that Tactician in the upper left of my screen. If you can see that Tactician, you don't want to pull him. It is unnecessary. You will have mob count without him. Once that pack is dead, go ahead and pull the next pack. Just want to group them together, AoE them down. You don't want to really pull the mobs in the middle or to the left. They're not needed again for mob count. You will easily get your mob count later on in the instance. So, if you want, you're probably going to want to focus most of your damage on the Gromkar Battle Master, as he also does his Blade Storm, which hurts. We didn't really focus on him, but you can. The Technicians, they will throw out oil patches, and if you use any abilities while you are standing in the oil patch, you will get a 1 second stun. So definitely just, you can't really dodge the initial throw of the oil patch on you, but you want to get out of it as soon as you can. And once you've mostly killed that pack, you can go ahead and pull the mobs near the purple marker, the 2 Technicians. You will need these for mob count. Again, be careful, don't pull the other Technician. If you get too close to the wall, he will pull. So you definitely don't want to do that. And once you've killed those 2 Technicians, you can get on your mount or run behind the cannons to pull the first boss. And once the boss is away from the mobs, go ahead and pull them. You definitely don't want to pull this boss with other mobs, as it'll make the pull too hard. We went ahead and used Lust on this fight. We Lust and cooldowns just to do as much damage as we could to Dreadfang, because Dreadfang will jump on random party members at a certain point in the fight. And we just wanted to kill him before that even became an issue. So once the boss jumps off of him, just go ahead and keep killing Dreadfang and avoiding the fire arrows that they periodically shoot down. Now once you do kill Dreadfang, you're going to want to put all your damage, of course, on the Flesh Render. He will use Reckless Provocation randomly. As long as this ability is up on him, it's a red bubble. It's pretty hard to miss. Once this ability is up on him, if you do any attacks on him, even auto attacks, he will fear you for 6 seconds. And as a tank, that could pretty much get you killed, because you'll be taking his white swings and you'll be in the fire from the arrows coming down. As a DPS or a healer, that'll also probably kill you because the fire does a lot of damage. Other than that, this boss is fairly simple. You'll probably get it easily down on your first try, or maybe a couple tries once you figure it out. One thing to note is if you actually send out a cast on him and he puts up a shield and it's traveling in the air, you will still get feared, so just be careful about that. Once the boss is dead, you're going to want your tank to go in the lead so that the Orgron laborers follow the tank and not anyone else. Our hunter here went ahead of me, so he has aggro, which, you know, he didn't die, so it's alright. But you want to drag them over to the Iron Star and have someone jump into the Iron Star and go ahead and kill them, because you don't want to waste your time DPSing them and you don't need them for mob count. Once you use the other Iron Stars to clear out the right area, you're just going to go ahead and run along the right, not pulling anything. You don't need to pull any of this. You're just going to keep running all the way down and go to the right. You will see a set of 3 mobs, deckhands that are padding, and what we did, since I'm a Death Knight, you can army here and pull those 3 deckhands with the Ogron pack, and your army will take the most of the damage for you. But if you are not a Death Knight, it is not advisable that you pull these together. It does way too much damage. I barely lived as it is when we did this pull, and this is with army. So if you don't have an army of the dead, just pull the 3 deckhands, kill them, then pull the Ogron. A thing to note here is the bombard that the last boss does on this area does a lot of damage. It'll kill you very fast, but it also does damage to these mobs. So you want to position yourself where you're not getting hit, but they are getting hit. Also be aware that deckhands do throw out the spinning axes. Try not to stand in them. They do a lot of damage. It's not always possible to avoid every single one of them as melee, but do your best to avoid as many as you can. Once the mob is really low on health and the bombardment is done in this area, you're going to want to run through to the next set of mobs. Again, tank them out in the open so that they're getting hit by the cannons but not you, and just hide behind the boxes so that you're not getting hit by the cannon. I believe there's a technician here, so again, don't cast abilities while you're in the oil or you'll keep getting stunned, and just avoid the axes, and eventually this pack will die thanks to the cannon barrage and your AoE. Once this pack is almost dead or completely dead, let your healer get mana if they need to. We let our healer get mana before I pulled the Ogron. You're just going to want to pull just the Ogron. You don't need to pull him into the next pack because the Ogrons themselves do a lot of damage. And if you're like me, most of your cooldown should probably be down by now from the last 2 packs. But anyways, pull the Ogron, and again, position it so he's getting hit by the bombard, but you're not getting hit by the bombard. And the bombard doesn't do like an insane amount of damage, but it does do a lot of damage, and especially in challenge modes, any extra damage you can get for free, you're going to want to take advantage of that. Be aware that, I didn't mention this earlier, but the Ogrons do use an attack called Flurry. This does a lot of damage, so you're going to want to use like some form of active mitigation before he uses this ability. You know, use a Death Strike or a rune tap if you're a Death Knight. For other classes, I'm not really sure, like Shield Barrier probably would do it. Shield Block maybe. Just stuff like that to mitigate his flurry attack. Now, for this next pull, if you're not a Death Knight or you don't have a Death Knight, it's going to be pretty hard to position the Flame Slingers in the bombardment because they just chain cast shoot. So if you're not a Death Knight, unfortunately, you cannot position them out there so they're getting bombarded, but you can position the Battle Master and the Technician out there, and you should do so. The Battle Master again will Blade Storm, and the Technician will throw oil out everywhere. Make sure you probably want to focus on the Battle Master first, kill him, and then kill the Technician. This pack isn't too bad though. You just have to be careful that you're not standing in fire, and you're not standing in oil and the bombardment. After that though, the second boss should be spawning right ahead of you. They should be getting off the train. This boss is pretty simple. Each one has mechanics. They're pretty easy to deal with. For this boss, you're going to want to use your cooldowns though on the Arok Dugru. He's the guy casting Blood Bolt. All he does is 2 abilities, Blood Bolt and a Blood Shield. Blood Bolt doesn't really do too much damage, but it's the Blood Shield you have to watch out for. Once he does use Blood Shield, you need to get off of him and get on Nisa Nox, the little goblin that is shooting at players. The reason being is if you break the blood shield that he puts on himself, he will heal all of them for about 60% of their life, and that pretty much will cost you your gold medal. So once that goes up, it's pretty visible. Just get on Nisa Nox, you know, do some damage to her. All she does is shoot and summons the Bomb Squad. Bomb Squad's fairly easy to deal with. It has very low health, and as low health, and it'll just jump at a range member and then sit next to them and have a timer, and it'll blow up. So if it jumps on you, just run away from it, and it won't kill you. She also throws around these bear traps that you can see around you. This will stun you for 2 seconds, so don't get hit by those. These two bosses are fairly simple. The last guy, all he really does is melee the tank and charge your random range, as well as summon lava or fire waves at them. I think some of our range figured out that if you stand on the ramp coming from where the bosses came from, the wave won't actually hit you. I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but it's worth giving it a try. So again, for this boss, you're going to kill the Blood Bolt guy, Ryok, and then you're going to kill Nisa Nox, and then you're going to kill Magog, Emberblade. This boss is fairly simple. The only thing that can really wipe you is if you accidentally break the blood shield, so just don't break the blood shield and you should be good. Once this boss is dead, go ahead and pull the next pack, just a Cleft Hoof and a Wrangler. The Wrangler will disengage away from melee, which is pretty annoying for your tank and for your melee, and it'll also put caltraps down on melee. This will do a lot of damage to melee if you run over a lot of them, so you need to definitely watch. You can't really see it very well on the screen. They're just very tiny black, like caltraps. It's basically all they are. They just do a lot of damage. And they also throw a serrated spear at a random range, which puts a bleed on them. So you just, for the most part, you're going to want to kill the Wranglers first. The only exception is the Rylok. You're going to want to kill Ryloks first, but we'll get to that. Next pack, 2 Wranglers and a Cleft Hoof. Just kill, mark a Wrangler, kill that one first, kill the other Wrangler. You still want to AoE, but you want to cleave off of one Wrangler and then kill the next Wrangler. See there, you can see the caltraps there. It's basically what they look like. They do a lot of damage, so don't run over a lot of them. And once this pack goes down, you'll just want to head to the next pack. Be aware though, if your healer at any point in this hallway needs mana, you want to go ahead and let them get mana, because it is a lot of damage that they do. So the next pack has another Wrangler and a Rylok. Kill the Rylok. He puts a bunch of fire patches on the ground, and those are just really annoying to deal with for everyone. So just, you want to probably kill the Ryloks first, or the Ironwing Flame Spitters first. They don't really do too much besides that. They just throw fire everywhere. Alright, once you've killed the Rylok and the Wrangler, you can go ahead and pull the next Wrangler, the Rylok, and the Cleft Hoof together. Again, kill the Rylok, then kill the Wrangler, and then kill the Cleft Hoof. Cleft Hoof doesn't really do too much, so again, the Rylok puts all the fire on the ground, so you definitely want to kill him first. Once this pack is defeated, you will come across 3 Iron Horde. One is a Blade Master, one is a Technician, and one is a Siege Master. The Siege Master is the one you want to kill first. He does a AoE melee cleave, like the first pack in the instance did, and so he needs to die first, because if you have any melee, it'll hurt them a lot. Once you do kill the Siege Master, you're going to want to kill the Battle Master next, and then finally the Technician. This pack isn't too big of a deal. Like I said, you just want to kill the Siege Master first as soon as you can. And then the Battle Master and the Technician. We killed the Technician second, but I believe you're going to want to kill the Battle Master second, because of the Blade Storm does do a lot of damage, especially if you have melee. But after this is dead, you'll come across the 3rd boss. You're going to want to pre-pot on this boss, but not second pot. Since the 4th boss is directly after this, you want to use both potions on the 4th boss. Go ahead and pull this boss. He doesn't do too many things different from Heroic. The only thing I can note that is different from Heroic, or that you might not know that he does on Heroic, is he summons a Rylok. Usually on Heroic you kill him pretty fast. so you might not have seen it. But on this, he'll jump and release wolves first. You're going to want to Shadow Fury or Leg Sweep wherever these wolves spawn because they don't have an aggro table. They just attack whoever they want to attack. So if you can AoE stun them right when they come out, you can just AoE them down pretty easily. Another mechanic that he does from his heroic counterpart is he will do his frontal cleave. This does a massive amount of damage, so you don't want to stand in that. Eventually he will use a ability called Time to Feed on one of your players. This, for 20 seconds, he will just deal a lot of damage to that player. What you're going to want to do is you need to damage him to get him out of it, as much damage as you can. After 8% damage to the boss, he will jump off. So you just need to do 8% of his health, and he will jump off that person. So that's it. This boss pretty much just jumps around, he cleaves, he opens cages. If he does summon the second cage with the Rylock, and he is at a decently high health where you can't kill him fast enough, you're going to want to kill the Rylock. This is because the Rylock puts acid spit everywhere, and it is incredibly annoying. But if he's close to dying like he was in the video, you can just kill him and ignore the Rylock. So it just depends on your DPS. For this boss, if you have a monk, you're going to want to put your teleport at the top left behind the barrels. Warlocks are going to want to put your gateways down. Anything that can help you get to the boss faster for his intermission phase, or his bombard phase, the better. For this boss, you're going to want to pre-pot and lust and use all of your cooldowns and just do as much damage as you can to Skulllock. Go ahead and ignore Koromar. You can dot him if you're a dot class and it makes your single target do more damage. But for the most part, you want to do everything you can to do single target to Skulllock. And this is because every bombard phase that he does is a huge waste of time and could easily cost you your gold medal. So the goal is, at most you want 2 bombards, but you can definitely skip the second bombard if your damage is high enough. Once he does bombard, you just want to get to the top left box as soon as you can. If you have no speed boost at all, you might find it difficult to get there, so you might have to be stuck in the bottom right box. Note, however, is after he does his bombard, you need to get out of there fast because flame vents will come behind you and they'll probably one-shot you. They do a lot of damage on challenge mode. While this bombard phase happens, Koromar will spin around. You just deal with it. Can't really do much. Hit the boss to get him out of the bombard phase, and just keep nuking on Skulllock. Again, cleave on Koromar if you have cleave abilities, but for the most part, most of your damage needs to go on Skulllock. Once Skulllock is dead, just focus all of your attention on Koromar. Completely ignore Zagosh. Zagosh does nothing. Once you kill Koromar, the encounter will end, and hopefully you'll get your gold medal. So just ignore Zagosh. If you're a few minutes behind on the gold or you wiped, just, go again. Maybe you need to pull a few of the packs, earlier packs together, pull more than one pack together, and that's fine. If you enjoyed the challenge mode guide, go ahead and subscribe. Leave a comment. If you have any questions, you can leave comments. You can click on any of the other videos you see before you if you want to go and look at how to get gold on those challenge modes. And that's it. Have a good day.